From Mama Akua Community House in Detroit, this is Cash Corner. I'm Nadia Zied.
And I'm Marcel Green.
And today on the program, we'll be talking about the do's and don'ts of buying yourself a sweet treat and how having a sweet tooth might actually save you some money in the long run. Also, couponing is back in fashion with an uptick in tariffs. Your average citizen is feeling the weight of the U.S. economy now more than ever. We'll be talking about this and more, but first, give us a second to count our cash. Snacking is a tale as old as time. Be it from stress or just for the love of the game, everyone loves a good snack. Even those boiled chicken, hardcore workout health maniacs love a nice apple from time to time. And I don't know about you, but when I'm on TikTok and I see someone else eating good, I want to eat good too. And I've seen many a video where girls will just take a picture with their frappe and be like, oh, it's so cute to spend my last $8 on a sweet treat. But the fact of the matter is, they're not made of money. I'm not made of money, and if you're listening to this podcast, then neither are you. Sometimes it feels impossible to have your dough and eat cake too. Just how do people expect you to pay for a large iced coffee these days? Today, we're going in depth on how to up your snacking game while lowering the costs. So let's get right into it. For starters, we're going to be talking about why it's important to treat yourself. Marcel, do you have anything you'd like to say about that?
So, it's always important to be responsible with your money and what you need to do. But sometimes you got to do what you want to do, too. Sometimes it's always good to, splurge every now and then. Make sure, that, your mental health is good as well as your, financial health. So if you want to go to an arcade, you want to go to a carnival, you want to go to a movie, you want to buy you some clothes, it's always good to have your mental intact. So I say treating yourself in that sense is always important.
Exactly, I agree, especially because it can feel oftentimes like when you're doing something that's such as difficult as saving, treating yourself kind of falls to the wayside. You're like, I don't deserve good things. I have to put all my money in my savings account. But no, it's very important to treat yourself. So the thing is, you have to do it responsibly. That's why we're going to be talking about budgeting. How much of your budget are you willing to allocate to treating yourself? That means how much, if you make $200 every week, how much of that 200 is going to go to your treats? Now, you all first have to consider what you need. So, like, if you have to pay your light bill, if you have to get your groceries, that should be considered. But after that, whatever you have left, if I got $50 left, I might just buy me a new game. So, Marcel, what do you think?
I feel like it depends on, how you're living. I would say, so like you said earlier, with bills, lights, gas, make sure you pay all that off first. And then after that, once you take care of what you need to take care of, then you go to, okay, so what I do normally is, let's say, like you said, you make $200. You automatically set aside, the $100 you need to make in your lights and gas. So now you automatically just put that aside. So the money you have left over, let's say it'd be $100 left. Now you have an extra $100 that you have to spend that you didn't even know you had. So you give yourself an extra cushion, in a sense.
Right. Okay. And so specifically, because we're talking about snacking here, I'm going to give you a strategy to make sure that you're budgeting right for your snacks. So you want to start by listing some of your favorite treats and the prices of them. So right now in the studio, I've got a bag of key lime pie flavored trail mix. It's about $6 a bag, right? So I've got my snack, I've got my price, and now we need to start considering other things like buying your favorite snacks in bulk. How many of you listeners have been to Costco? If you haven't, consider going. You get yourself a membership. It's a nice investment. And basically it's saying I could buy 1 pack of trail mix for $6, or I could buy 5 packs of trail mix for $20. And I'm actually saving a lot of money that way. So when you buy your favorite snacks in bulk, it really gives you a little bit more financial freedom, because now you don't have to keep making repeat purchases. You don't have to worry about taxes every time you want to eat something good. You can just find a big box of whatever it is you love to eat and take it home with you. The next thing you can do is making food at home. Marcel, do you have any experiences about making food at home you want to share?
Well, I would say that, making food at home, it's a bit of a challenge, especially, if you're a little new to cooking. But compared to, for example, last week I went to Red Lobster. got me some shrimp, some crabs, some butter biscuits, and all in all, it cost me like $30. But last, like yesterday, I made some tacos, and I got the taco shells, I got the ground beef, I got the seasoning I need, I got the toppings I want, and I basically can feed myself that amount of tacos for about a week or two, which is more than that one day of Red Lobster will give me. And all in all, it cost me no more than $10.
That's what I'm talking about. Especially because the thing that people don't realize is that you can still have your Red Lobster at home. They sell the biscuit mix in the stores. You just got to make it, right? And also making pasta is not that hard. You can really have fun with making your food at home. I know that was like a very daunting thing when we were young and our parents wouldn't take us to McDonald's, but we're a little older now and budgeting is important. So like you can always look at helpful YouTube videos. I know I follow this one French guy named Chef Jean-Pierre. He has all these pasta sauces. I made one last night. It was delicious. And you've got to think about the price because you can buy about, I'm going to say like 10 plus servings of spaghetti for less than $3. So it's really all about what you're willing to put your time into. And when it comes to saving money, you have to have that sort of ingenuity. Ultimately, you're going to like save money on whatever misery you get from not buying yourself something nice if you do something that makes you happy as often as you need to. The key is moderation, not overcompensation. Do you have any closing remarks for us, Marcel?
Well, I would say, in terms of, saving money on food, research is important. I used to, go and watch the Food Network, look up these Food Network guys, these Iron Chefs, people who cook for a living, and, try to simplify that recipe and see how I can incorporate that into what I'm making. And it's hard work. It is. It takes a lot of time and effort, and you might fail a couple times. Sometimes you may burn the food, you may undercook, you may overcook it, but then once you get into the rhythm of it and you keep making, you're constantly making, good food, you think that you're making, food better than the restaurant that you would visit. So you would make your own Red Lobster, you would make your own McDonald's, your own Wendy's, whatever you like to go, you would make a better version of that because you're making it yourself. It's costing less, and it's tasting just as good, and you're eating all of it at the comfort of your own home.
All right, and this is the Cash Corner with the Pure Money Mentors. Please stay tuned for our daily stock market hit and our next half of the show. Thank you.
Great so far since AI exploded, and it went from a stock price of $17.80 back in 2023 to now it's at $172.16, which is a 10 times increase in how much the stock is worth. So if I put in $1,000 back in 2023 when it was worth $17, that $1,000 that I would have put in 2025 right now, it would be worth $10,000. So that's our stock update and our stock recommendation. Up next, talking about the resurgence in couponing. Stay right there while we get our change together on Cash Corner. On the topic of expensive eats, when you go through a drive-thru for some fast food, what's the first thing they ask you? Will you be checking in with your mobile app? Everywhere you go, there's a rewards program, a membership, a subscription, and it can be hard to filter through the noise. So, as a consumer, what should you be signing up for that will give you the leg up on your purchases? Well, according to ABC 15 News, more Americans are couponing out of necessity, especially when we think about the uprise in tariffs over this last presidency. Let's get into the ancient and intricate art of couponing. You know those little buy one, get one free printouts you usually throw away with your receipt. The ones that tell you all the laundry detergent in the store is 60% off right now. All of those things that end up as paperweights could actually be the pillars that hold up your wallet when your money is getting low. Right now, we're talking about couponing in the digital age. To start,
So one of the first questions that people ask when it comes to like couponing and budgeting and such is, what rewards program should I be a part of, right? And there's actually no definite answer to this because it depends on places that you go frequently. So, like, for instance, I go to Meijer, Michigan's, like, local franchise grocery store, and I have the M Perks app on my phone. Like, right now, there's a sale, buy one, get one free on Sweet Tart ropes, right? And I probably wouldn't have known that if I didn't have the app. And not only that, but they, like, give you rewards points that you can stack up and use for future purchases. And you can also do it for fast food places, okay? There's no shame in having the McDonald's app on your phone. If you're going to go to McDonald's all the time, you might as well save some money. For instance, I went to the Poke sushi bowl place with my friend, and those bowls are not cheap. They're like $20 per bowl, right? But because my friend had been using her rewards app, we actually managed to get about $8 taking off of our purchase, which is a lot in the long scale. So it's just really important to download these apps for places that you go to often, and don't be shy about it. The next thing that a lot of programs like this do is they're advertising their card to you. So, like, if you've ever been on Amazon, Amazon's like, please, get our credit card. And if you think you can manage that, fine. That's fine. And I don't know about you, Marcel, but personally, I can't imagine having 6 or 7 credit cards just to get different rewards from different places.
No, I mean, me personally, what I like to do is when I coupon, let's say I go to a big store like a Kroger or Meijer, I make sure that, okay, I have signed up. I signed up for it, especially if I know I'm going to go back there early and often. So let's say I've been to Meijer for over 10 years. Now they give me, like, buy 4 cereals, get 1 cereal free, stuff like that. Stuff that I'm going to use anyway. And I make sure that, okay, I get my coupons there. And then even if I just want, like, cheap stuff, I go to, like, an Aldi's. Aldi's is, like, this local grocery store near my place where, let's say at a Meijer, the taco shells are $5. At Aldi's, they're $2. So I make sure I go to, like, super, super, super local grocery stores that, are super niche, that I make sure I eat it first. I test the quality. So that could be a way of couponing by just simply buying the same product at a cheaper price.
And also, not being afraid to stray away from the name brand. I actually don't need Jif's peanut butter if I can get the Meijer brand peanut butter for $2 less. And I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah.
But the thing about getting cards for these reward programs is that you need to be certain that you understand the interest rate on these cards. Because what you don't want to do is end up with a new credit card for every store with a different interest rate on each of them. So, for example, the Amazon credit card, they tell you to sign up for it. They're like, hey, we can give you $150 on an Amazon gift card if you qualify for this credit card. And you're like, oh my God, free money. Wrong. Not free money. Money that comes with a cost. So, Amazon's late credit card payment APR, which stands for annual percentage rate, which basically means like how much money you borrow per year, is almost 30%. So to put it in like layman's terms, if you pay back your Amazon credit card late, you owe them an extra 30% of what you borrowed. You can see how that can be an issue. And when it seems like all these rewards programs want to offer you free money, it's just very important to take a break and back up and find out what is actually going on with the interest rates. And for a very complicated question, are paper coupons still a thing? Marcel, do you use paper coupons?
Well, I gotta be honest with you. Not really. Not with the introduction to, like, mobile apps, to all these things. Like, for instance, like, I go to, like, with rewards programs, I think rewards programs is, like, for instance, I go to Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A just opened near my house. And I have over 5,000 points in Chick-fil-A. So I can buy several free meals off that, which essentially is a coupon. Rewards programs are replacing coupons, but I remember when, there was a show called Extreme Couponing. It was on, I forgot the network specifically, but
we're going to talk about that for our penny for our thoughts today, so we can move on to So yeah, paper coupons are they still exist, right? If you go to Meijer and you buy something, you're still going to get a paper coupon on the back of your receipt, but they're just not as effective as using a mobile app, because at this day and age, everybody has a phone, right? And so just allocating a couple, like half a gigabyte of space from your phone for this mobile app is going to save you a ton of money in the long run. And it is going to be more effective than just stocking up paper receipts and coupons that you get when you make your purchases. Now, that's not to say that you can throw them away, because you can still use them. They're valid and they work. It's just that there's an easier way to do it that we're trying to like tune you into. And so the final thing here is, do you have any local couponing communities? And the answer is yes. If you go to littleguydetroit.com/tag/couponing, this is actually a website that talks about the couponing scene in Detroit and where to get the best deals. So please make sure you visit that. And that's about all I have to say about couponing. Marcel, do you have anything else to add?
I would just say couponing, again, it just takes research, but this is your money we're talking about, your hard-earned money that you worked hours for. You should, if you are trying to, reach that level of, okay, I'm not trying to spend too much, do the research, go on these, websites, they have free coupons. Go to your, get like the Kroger magazines or Meyer magazines, cut out the coupons, sign up for the rewards program, get the mobile apps, make sure you're spending as little money as possible, especially when you don't have to, because you never know when something may arise and you need that money. So couponing is very important, and I would say it's hard work, but it's worth it in the end of the day.
All right, and this is the Cash Corner with the Pure Money Mentors. Please stay tuned for the Penny for Our Thoughts and social media update. If you were offered a penny for each of your thoughts, would you be wealthy? In the Cash Corner, we'll help you generate wealth by putting more money on your mind. Today's fact is, there's an entire corner of the internet dedicated to extreme couponing. A 2011 reality TV show aired on TLC highlighting the lives of people so dedicated to saving, they treated it like a sport. It had over 2 million viewers and 3 seasons, all attributed to saving money. It still sometimes airs reruns and can be found on YouTube. Here's some clips from it now.
Your total is 55 cents for everything you bought.
55 cents. Wow.
That's what your total is today, Desiree, 55 cents.
So that means today you would have spent a grand total of $1,077.66. But with all of your coupons, your grand total was $21.26.
That's awesome.
She saved a whole lot of money.
Did that enrichment make you feel a bit richer? Well, stay tuned to the Cash Corner, because we're going to be featuring our social media updates in the next segment.
All right, so here's some of our social media updates. The Pure Money Mentors will be receiving a shout out on WDET, Detroit's NPR-funded public radio station. You can hear about us live on Monday, July 21st at 11:20 a.m. on 101.9 FM. That's 101.9 FM at 11:20 a.m. Monday, July 21st. Please listen in. On our Instagram, at Pure Money Mentors 313, we'll be posting small advice on different money management skills. So far, we went over saving, investing, and credit. Next, we'll post about insurance, so be on the lookout for that. Also, we'll be making a flyer for upcoming workshops if anyone wants to attend. Come learn how to be financially well and grow your bank account. On our YouTube channel, Pure Money Mentors, that's Pure Money Mentors on YouTube, we already have 3 podcast episodes out already discussing budgeting and the importance of financial literacy and wellness. We also have some shorts up about an in-person workshop that we did. And last week we attended the Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation, and we had some activities engaging the youth so that they can participate in and so they can learn how to be financially literate at an early age.
The Pure Money Mentors are sponsored by Grow Detroit's Young Talent, Mama Akua Community House, and Michigan's Roundtable for Just Communities. It's produced by the Pure Money Mentors themselves. If you want to know more about the Pure Money Mentors, please head to DetroitPureMoneyMentors.org.com. That's Detroit Peer Money Mentors, ORG.com. Thank you for listening.